Okay, this will be a good starting point. Hopefully we can catch a decent shot of the moon here. Oh yeah, it's there.
Yeah, you got it?
Yep. And right there's good. Okay. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe smoke. Do you mind if I smoke?
Oh no, I don't think anybody minds if you smoke or drink.
I smoke.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know.
Smoke,
Am I allowed
drink.
to show like what I'm drinking on? I don't know. So
right. Covered up with a napkin.
Copyright violation.
Right. We don't want to do any of that. We're not here to, throw anybody under the bus.
Ooh, no. We are Jizzy. Okay.
What's your last name?
Maxwell. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, you will in half a second. Ghislaine Maxwell, and we have come to affectionately dub her as Jizzy for obvious reasons, I guess.
Which you'll learn about.
Easier to freaking say, for one.
Right, yeah, very weird name.
What a mess, man. What a freaking hornet's nest old Epstein opened.
If anyone doesn't know, this is the woman that has been in the news the last couple days that was arrested. She is basically, or was, Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman that, as we learned, don't want to go into it too much to ruin the episode, but she helped him arrange a lot of these encounters, from what we understand, with these young girls and clientele, I guess, with his little black book. And we hope to eventually get into that black book and
oh yes, we will,
and expose the people that were in that black book that Jeffrey Epstein kept.
There is a very notable person, Sean Atwood, ShaunAttwood. I'm pretty sure that's it. And he's ran a channel for, I don't know, a while now, trying to blow the whole lid off this Epstein thing.
Right.
I don't know what Epstein did to him, but man, he's got it all over the guy. So
he's
if you
got it out
check
for him.
out that name, he's got some interesting stuff.
The guy's dead. We're not here to pick on him, but we're gonna pick on him.
Oh my God, the guy deserves it.
He deserves it indeed. And so does Jizzy. She deserves it too. She deserves everything that she has coming legally. We've discovered some interesting stuff. We'll get into it about a lot of these people that have exposed the Clintons, that have exposed, Mr. Epstein.
Deep web, I would call it a deep state. Deep state. There's the term.
Deep shit, more like it.
Deep shit.
But a lot of these people have, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's been a few people that have ended up dead for suicide, if you will. And that's recently, very recently. And that's how they described it. It was a forcible suicide. So, I mean, that's something we're going to get into. I think that we're not here to hurt any feelings or anything like that, but it's the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But
old Jizzy, she wasn't nothing nice.
She was a very bad lady.
When I started, looking into it.
Yeah.
She was and she's been into questionable activity since 1990.
Yeah, this goes back a long time. This is just not brand new. She's been messing with Mr. Epstein for quite some time, and he has been doing what he did for a long time. Obviously until his demise, but he has, like we said, that black book, and he has dealt with royalty. It's not just in the United States. He's been all over with his airplane, the Lolita Express. Foundation. We're going to look into that.
Private island in the Virgin Islands,
right. Yeah. We're going to be digging deep into this. There is a lot to get out.
And it connects to so many other things.
It's unbelievable how it connects to so many things.
Yeah.
It started out as a little seed, and it has grown into a forest, to say the least. But I think that this is going to be a good time. It's going to be a good way to just let people know what's going on. It's really sad and disgusting that this man and woman and all the clientele got away with this for as long as they did.
Well, okay. What do you think? And what do you think? How long do you think, or do you think at all, that Jizzy's gonna make it to trial, to testify, to name all these high-profile individuals around the world, or is she gonna end up like Epstein within a week, and suicide herself?
Right. I honestly think that she is not going to live to see Christmas. We'll put it that way. Whether it's, by her own self-inflicted suicide or, whatever.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that from a normal American point of view, at least my point of view and opinion, I'm not going to buy it for a second.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. She's guilty. She's already guilty. She helped this man do some awful, awful things.
I'm sure there's a lot of bad people that, if we're truly dealing with the highest level of politicians in multiple parties, Republican and Democrat,
right?
Kingdoms throughout the global world,
absolutely.
People in power and infected positions of power, like a cancer, like
absolutely.
a secret level of CIA within the CIA, kind
right.
of thing. Shadow
right.
government. That's what we call it, deep state.
Deep state.
And if it's true that she knows all these individuals and their names, and I can't imagine the type of individual that someone with power like billions of dollars, what kind of person could they hire to silence someone?
Right. That they got hush money. They got disappear money, never see you again money, and it's pretty. I think that there's a lot of people, and again, we don't know who's in that black book, but it is full of people.
Yeah, some of the names are shocking. Some of this stuff I'm starting to dig up is really heartbreaking and saddening, because these are people that are supposedly pillars, and it's almost like Emperor Palpatine. He's sitting there in Star Wars, and it's freaking, oh, this is great for the Republic and all this, and so he turns around,
right, exactly, yes. They'll smile in your face and stab you in the back, but I think there's a lot of people, as we all are going to find out, that that are in that black book, that they don't want that information let out, and if it does, it's going to ruin a lot of people. It's going to ruin careers.
It's going to ruin families for
a
long time.
Absolutely. And these are powerful people with money that can pay to make someone disappear.
Well, pretty much.
And I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to Epstein. And, whether he was purposely put in the jail with some other unnamed inmate, it seems a little too convenient, everything that went on.
Everything that happened with him was way too convenient.
Well, he went to trial before. He went to trial, 10, 15 years, whatever the first trial was, and he got off. Something about the prosecutor designated him too important to the government to prosecute, so they kind of shuffled it under the papers and the radar, and, he got off scot-free for the crap he did then, and then he just freaking did it way worse.
Yeah, he was given a second chance and he ruined it. He threw it away, but he couldn't quit, and that's a lifestyle that he has lived for, like we said, a lot of this started the early 90s.
Yeah.
That's going on 30 years.
Yeah. And believe it or not, we can start to uncover and link it to everything, including the Ukraine freaking Trump phone call BS.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's the hole that we've been looking at is quite massive.
It's big and it's deep and it's
like a
full
giant
of garbage.
web.
Just how everything is connected, and we've only been looking for a short period of time. We haven't invested a great deal of time in this, but the time that we have invested, it is just unbelievable, sickening, really, how all this stuff is connected to the politicians, to very powerful people, wealthy people,
foundations, same names over and over,
that are supposed to be for the better of people, and it's a lot of money moving back and forth, a lot of dirty money, and it has touched, like Steve said, not just the United States, but all over the world. And it's pretty sad and disgusting.
Yeah, old Jizzy's just at the tip there, man. She could bring this whole house of cards
Oh,
crumbling down on top of her.
crashing down. She is the one person out of that famous duo, Jizzy and Epstein, that she knows everything.
Well, I mean, look at what happened to Steve Kaplan, man. Freaking, he finds out. He starts to get a conscience and starts to say something. He forcibly suicides off a bridge.
Right. Forcible suicide. I mean,
And that Instagram was pretty damn incriminating, I must say.
Right.
You know, and I have an idea of exactly what he was talking about halfway through. His vile and fallible or whatever act, you know, that he was talking about.
Admitted to being a horrible person and doing horrible things, and the next thing you know, he's falls off a bridge. Oops.
So yeah, I'm like ready to start a pool here, you know. My odds are on Jizzy don't make it another few days, you know?
Right. Maybe that's what we should do. Let's get a calendar, a bucket square, and you pick the day she disappears or dies. I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I like gambling. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, this is a horrible, horrible woman.
Oh, Prince Andrew. Then you got Prince Andrew. Supposedly, Prince Andrew is the one who introduced her to his high society life. Which, I mean, that crazy clown, Duke of Wales or whatever, Duke of York, or some crazy stuff he was before Prince Andrew, Duke Andrew. But at that point, then he introduces her to Epstein and high society, you know, in New York, and
next thing you know,
bam,
boom.
You know, she'll give you some sad crocodile tear story. Oh, Epstein raped me, and blah 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 blah. That was the funny thing. So then he made me part of his fold. No, you were like-minded and joined his fold willingly. You know,
right. I'm sure she was
money motivated.
She was probably given a lot of money to participate, and
I'm sure there was
be quiet.
Yeah, some sickness in there too.
Absolutely.
She can't be the most mentally stable person.
Maybe perhaps even brainwashing. You know, it's
yeah.
She's obviously, her mind is not in the right place, nor has it been for the last 30 years. It's the way of life. That's what she knows now, and she better get used to the inside of a jail cell, because that's where she hangs out now.
Yeah, well, it's inside of a jail or a coffin for her, I imagine.
It's going to be both. I have a feeling.
I don't even know how they could get her through witness protection, you know, with these people, because these people have to have someone in every little branch of it. And the more we dig, the more we find that out.
Right. They've got connections all over the place, and you know, like we said, these are people that don't want this information made public. It will ruin them.
Yeah, it's stuff that the media doesn't want to cover. You know? I mean, there's stuff that the media doesn't want to cover for a reason, and we have several examples of things that the media have missed. Completely,
right,
for several years. Oh yeah, missed. You know, over here.
Swept under the rug, whether it's too graphic or gruesome or
too truthful.
Absolutely.
For some people, you know,
there's ties to all these bigwigs. They've got ties to, you go back to, you know, Obama and all the folks he set up in the media with jobs, married couples.
Exactly.
Running the
intermarriages between the media,
right?
And you know, goodness, you know, the way to circumvent the law about nobody can own more than 7 media organizations or something because they can influence public opinion. Well, there's a way around that. Just a bunch of intermarriages within your office.
Absolutely, that's it. So, a lot of information. There's going to be a lot of digging. You know, we're going to do our best to make sure that it is accurate, truthful. Again, a lot of what we're talking about, it's just not our opinion. It is actual factual information.
Yeah, we'll have to speculate at some points, but
absolutely,
we'll try to make that clear at every point.
Right. There'll be some speculation. It's only human to have an opinion. But
what's yours?
Let us know. We want to know.
Yeah, Epstein and Maxwell, man, she's a hot topic right now.
She's a hot topic, and she's a pig. She's a horrible person, and we're going to learn about her.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Yeah, do your research. You know, I think we'll have to start soon and do a short snippet on some of the names in the Black Book.
Yeah.
You know, might be the most common and everybody recognize.
Right.
Now, I think just to be clear that just because a name would be in a Black Book like Epstein's doesn't necessarily mean they were directly involved in the activity.
Correct.
Anybody, no matter how criminal, is going to have some contacts in their book that are just normal, everyday friends and
Sure.
contacts, you know, business partners, this and that aren't involved in the things. But
Correct.
I'm betting that anybody who's spent a lot of time with him, anybody that's been in his house, are you going to go to John Podesta's house, look at this freaking art that we've seen on his walls, right, and think there's not something wrong with this guy?
Right.
Okay, the first time I saw the picture, I was like, whoo! That was my inner whoo! You know, if I walked in his house, I'd be like, whoa, buddy.
And if you guys don't know who that is, he was very familiar with the White House. He is very familiar with the Clintons.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some pretty graphic art hanging in his house.
His brother isn't such, I don't think he's on the up and up too much either. I think wasn't he involved in all that Ukraine trying to dig up dirt on Trump crap that they tried to accuse Trump of? And
correct.
Yeah.
But this gentleman's got some very interesting art in his home. All of this art is little girls in their underwear, paintings of little girls in their underwear, and it is throughout his home. These are huge paintings.
Yeah, all these girls look like little freaking like 50s blow-up doll caricatures kind of things, you know.
Right.
There was one where it was a circle of chairs, and they're all a bunch of little freaking like 50 swimsuits.
Yeah.
These girls with these round freaking blow-up doll mouths, all freaking like hands tied behind the chairs.
Right.
And it's like my
This is art that this guy either paid the artist to make specifically, or he went out and spent a lot of money buying this, and he's very proud to display it in his home.
Who makes this art?
Yeah, who's the artist? We'll have to look into that.
Good question.
We need to look into him too. I mean,
There's a lot of people.
Maybe he's a starving artist and the money was right, but you know, I guess how you come up with the idea to do that, you're pretty sick. So
yeah, so we're gonna have to dig a little bit into him and his brother too later, because we've seen some disturbing things from a lot of sources. But old Ghislaine, I mean, her and that was the report. One of her best friends supposedly blabbed to the media or something that she would never rat out Prince Andrew because he was responsible for introducing her to all those people in the first place.
Right.
Which means that dirty dog was involved way before she was.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, this is not something that just happened overnight. This is something that these guys have gotten away with for the better of 30 plus years. And you know, how many of these children have been
How many
hurt?
children? Now, if some of the rumors are true and the crazy stuff that goes on, and let's try to think about that. Ghislaine Maxwell, her total children that she could have like really passed on. If you have, say, a few thousand of these people spread out throughout the world, right, that are all in this little group, right, with her, and they each want to do their little ritual pedophile things or whatever 3 or 4 times a year. That's 2,000 times 4 kids they would each that she would need to provide in this freaking human trafficking ring. That's like 8,000 children a year.
A year, 8,000.
Okay, and that's just, I don't know if that may be an over generous number. You know, it may be an under generous number. I don't know how many people we're going to dig up that could be actually linked to this.
One is way too many.
One
child hurt, sexually exploited, abused is way too many. But we're talking hundreds, if not thousands, of children. You know, I mean,
victims.
Multiply that by that's a very good victims. These children were victims of these monsters. But multiply, hundreds, thousands times 30 plus years. That's a lot, and it's sickening, and it's sad. I have children. Steve has children, and a lot of you guys have children. And to think of someone doing that to your children, these are not good people we're talking about here, and that's the whole point of this show, is to get this out there, expose these people. Ghislaine Maxwell, old Jizzy, she's a ringleader of a very bad circus.
Yeah, she's up there, and let's just hope she makes it next week to trial, or
Yeah,
her court arraignment in New York or whatever.
I would like to see her, spew some information, throw some names out there.
If anybody in the Republican Party sees this, if anybody in a position of higher up power sees this, maybe you should put a little extra effort into protecting her. Because see, if it was me personally, I'd put her in a hermetically sealed room where the only other room is the one I'm in, and it's got an oxygen tank that controls the airflow in that room. I've got 5 cameras on YouTube live fucking stream,
Right.
outside the fucking door, inside the door, and inside her room.
Right.
You're not taking down 20 live streams at one time. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Right. My complete wireless camera system is going to be in that first room. It's going to be something I'm going to have enough food in it, and she's going to make it there no matter what.
Right.
They would literally have
That's
to
good.
destroy the entire building
yeah.
just to get to her.
Right. Right.
But I don't think they'll take that kind of measures. I would go so far overboard that
Just to make sure she gets there.
Just to make sure she got there.
We want her to talk. We want her to throw some people under the bus.
Yeah.
Before she gets thrown under the bus. It's going to be good. It'll be interesting. Hopefully it happens sooner than later. Hopefully she makes a wise decision, and
hopefully I don't get some BS crammed down my throat about her suicide.
Right. Yeah, watch out, guys. If you hear about her committing suicide, we told you so.
Yeah. Well, we'll revisit this in a day or two here and see how she's doing.
Indeed.
But I think we need to start looking into Jeffrey and maybe give everybody a background on some of his. And I know there's been a lot of denial in the Clintons about involvement with him.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not true.
It's so hard to.
It's a twisted web.
It is. It is a web that is full of interesting, gross, bad, sick stuff.
Twists and turns, and every time you find something out, it's like, oh my God, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Of course it is.
It's all tied together, which is scary.
It's fun. So.
Yep. We look forward to digging and untangling that web.
Yeah. So let us know what you think of the show and what's going on, and especially old Jizzy.
Look her up.
Any bets on whether she's going to make it to court?
I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Yeah. So
leave a comment, like it.
Here we go from the great outdoors of America.
That's right.
July 5th. Have a great night.
Take care, guys. Thank you.